stranger. Wait.
Grosh told me over a few beers that you had a thing with someone from Horshan, and your husband got battered because of it.
Merciful Mary, so Grosh has been blabbing about me to God knows who. The shame of it. I'll have you know I did no such thing. I'm an honest woman.
My apologies. I'm merely repeating what I heard. So how are things between you?
There's a powerful protective charm I desperately need. A Thunderstone. It's a great rarity. But Thomlin Bruthans from Horshan has one. He just won't let me have it. The thing is, he sometimes wages it in fights.
I see. Now it all makes sense to me. So that's why your husband fought him.
Exactly. You see, nothing dishonest. But Stimir is feeling ashamed that young Bruthans gave him a thrashing.
What is a Thunderstone?
Well, they're formed when there's a violent storm with forks of lightning and peals of thunder. The biggest of these are Thunderstones. They fall from the sky with a mighty boom and burrow deep into the earth. After a while, they work their way back up to the surface. And if you're lucky, that's where you'll find them.
What does a Thunderstone look like?
Well, from what I saw of Thomlin's, it's the size of a grown man's fist, perhaps a tad bigger, sort of elongated and curiously shaped. It's flat on one side and has a round hole through the middle.
What can these stones do?
Well, lots of things. If you have one, it protects you from all harm, helps you in battle, and brings good luck. It also wards off and cures diseases. And if you put it into the rafters of your cottage, you'll be protected from fire and all manner of other calamities.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you want me to fight Thomlin and win the stone for you?
Well, yeah. And I know I'm asking a lot, but I'm really desperate. And I have no one else to turn to. I prayed fervently to the Virgin Mary and implored her for help. And now you've shown up. Besides, by the looks of you, you have the strength of a bull, perhaps two. So she surely sent you to help me.
Why are you so desperate for this piece of rock?
That's my business.
Look, if I'm to help you, I need to know what you're going to do with this stone. I don't want to get caught up in any witchcraft.
This is no witchcraft. It's just... Fine. Listen, I'm afraid for my child. And myself. All my babies died shortly after birth. Bless their souls. And birthing is very hard for me. I nearly died last time. The stone has the power to help me and protect my next infant. That's why I want it.
All right. I'll help with your trouble.
Mary, Mother of Mercy, thanks be to the both of you. This means so much to me.
Save your thanks for when I bring it to you.
I shall. Don't you worry about that. We've got some groschen put by, so you'll be handsomely rewarded. I'm also on good terms with Hannah, so I could put a word in for you at the stud farm. She'll give a generous discount if you want to buy a horse from her. And I'll pray and intercede for you, I swear.
Hold on. You said the stone helps its owner in a fight?
Among other things. Yes, that's what I heard.
So how the hell am I supposed to beat Thomlin when he's got the power of this stone on his side?
Well, it won't be easy. You're right about that. You can talk to Stimir. He fought Thomlin, so he might have some ideas. Or, over in Horshan, I think the lads there wrestle a lot, and Thomlin is in charge of that. That might help. Most importantly, keep your hopes up, and don't let him intimidate you. Ours is a just cause. So Lady Fortune and all the saints are sure to be on your side. And that must count for something.
Well, it's not going to be easy. But David defeated Goliath, didn't he?
Oh, that's a good point. Glory to David, and to you. Farewell, my friend.
Do you believe in the power of Thunderstones?
Of course. How else could Thomlin beat me but with the stone's help? A Thunderstone is a rare and powerful thing. It's not a matter of belief. That's just the way it is. Just like when you build a cottage or a barn. You put a dead chicken or cock under the threshold to protect against disease and evil forces. You bury a pot with a few groschen and other small treasures in the corner of the room to bring the farm good fortune and protection. And on the roof, it's best to plant common house leek, so lightning doesn't strike the building and set it on fire.
Wise words. When I settle down, I'll remember your advice, and I'll be sure to put house leek on top of my forge. Hey, you, it's Dimir. I need to talk to you about your fight with Thomlin.
I got battered, and I'm not proud of it, so I'd rather not dwell on it.
Look, I want to help Kona get that stone, so I could really use your experience.
Ah, I see. All right, then. And thanks a lot for wanting to help us.
So tell me, how can I beat Thomlin?
Look at it this way. I'm bigger, but he's faster. So I thought that if I got up really close to him, he'd lose that advantage and I'd use brute force to overcome him.
Brute force alone seldom works. That kind of blunt approach only works on opponents who don't know how to fight.
Look, are you here to give advice or take it? Although, yeah, you're right. I've experienced that for myself. I tried a few times, but whenever I went to grab him, he'd wriggle out of the way. Then, during one attempt, he grabbed my hand, tripped me, and put me in a headlock. At which point all I could do was eat dirt in that pigsty where Thomlin likes to fight.
I could put a bit of iron in my glove. Then I'll strike him like an anvil, and if he's not expecting it, he'll drop like a stone. Do you have any?
Fuck me. I don't know where you came up with such a trick, but it's no use here. It's bare-knuckle fighting with Thomlin.
Bollocks.
So my advice would be to do exactly what I did. Just be careful not to get caught like I was. He looks a bit of a milksop at first glance, but he's as strong as an ox. Keep a safe distance. Avoid making pointless strikes, and only attack him when you're sure it'll work. And when, or rather if, you manage to grab him, pound him as hard as you can. Don't let up, and don't give him a chance to turn around.
Sound advice. That makes sense. I'll try that. Hey, Thomlin. People around here tell me you have a Thunderstone.
People say all sorts of things.
They also say if I beat you in a fight, it's mine.
Those days are over. There was a time I'd put it up for grabs in fights with cocky fools. That much is true. I even had a couple of craftsmen come from the burg to try their luck. But everyone got a thrashing. Well, then I decided to retire. It didn't seem right, and my conscience was getting the better of me. Well, as for you, you've cut the locals down to size. Impressive work. So there's nothing here for you now. But if those fists of yours are still itching, you could try your luck over in Miskovitz. Blood runs hot in those lads, so you'll fit right in like a thumb up an arse. And if you're as stupid as you are brave, there's a shit pit in the burg they call the Hole. They're hard as nails there. Beat the shit out of each other with iron gloves. Fucked up if you ask me, but each to his own.
Look, that's all very well, but it's you I'm here to fight. For the Thunderstone.
Fuck's sake. You're a bleeding half-wit, aren't ya? Let's try again. I'm not fighting for the stone anymore. I found it. It's mine. I'm keeping it.
I challenge you to a fight. Let's fight for the Thunderstone. Or have I made you shit your brays?
The only shit being spouted here is from your mouth. You know you can't win, don't ya? No one's beaten me for as long as I can remember. And besides, I have the stone. So just back off and forget about it. I'm doing you a favour, because I want to spare you the embarrassment and some pretty fucking painful bruises.
Look here, big man. I kicked the arses of Stanley and all the others here, with my finger up my nose at that. So I reckon you'll be soft as shit too. But to give the devil his due, I'd still like to find out for myself.
Yeah, I get it. You're provoking me. Nice try. All right, have it your way. If there's one thing I really hate, it's arrogant, cocky outsiders who think they know it all. Prepare for a beating. You know the rules. No armor. Strip down to your waist. Then we'll meet in the pen, you'll place your wager against the stone, and then you'll get an arse-kicking.
I'm ready for this. How about you?
Always.
You've got the stone?
Don't you worry about that. I don't expect to part with it anyway. I'm looking forward to taking your coin instead. Have you got enough?
Here it is. I'm no cheat.
Trust, but back it up with proof, I always say. Well, we have everything we need. Let me just take off my coat and we'll get started.
Come on, move, you snail!
I'm just getting warmed up, you shit.
You call that a punch?
Oh!
Give it all you've got!
Oh!
Granny can punch harder than you. Give it all you've got. Knock his teeth
Come
out.
on, move, you snail!
For glory!
Move, you snail! Granny can punch harder than you!
Oh!
Give it all you've got.
Hey!
Give it all you got!
You fight like an old hag!
Bastard!
Come on, move, you snail!
Oh!
My granny can punch harder than you.
You have a kind master, eh, doggy?
You hear who done?
I beat you. The prize is mine.
Yeah, you did. But it was close. I almost had you myself.
Close? Not one bit. I was all over you from the start.
Bollocks you were. You're just lucky I fucked up my back yesterday.
No need to be so upset. It's not so bad. Just a little embarrassment and a few bruises, right? But let's not waste time. You owe me my money back, and the stone along with it.
You'll get your money back, goes without saying. Here you are.
Perfect. What about the stone?
Well, I can't give you that, because I don't have it.
What? But the stone was your stake.
No, it wasn't. It was your idea that if you won, I'd give you the stone. I didn't actually promise you anything like that.
Look, you yokel prick. Don't twist this. You tried to hoodwink me, and now you're playing word games.
I suppose it was a bit sneaky of me. But what the hell? I figured if you were up for a fight, I'd at least make a groschen or two out of it. I just wasn't expecting to lose. That's all.
But people said you have a Thunderstone. So it's all horseshit?
No, it wasn't made up. I really did find a Thunderstone. And I had it right up until the other day when it was stolen. I didn't want word to get out because I'd look like a right fool. So I acted like nothing happened. I'm sorry for leading you on. I didn't mean any harm.
And do you have any idea who might have stolen it from you?
If you ask me, it was that Hensel from Rabosh and his little mate Peter. They were ever so curious about it right before it disappeared.
And you didn't do anything about it?
Of course I fucking did. I went to wring their necks, but they disappeared like the steam from my piss. They must have seen me and bolted, which only confirmed my suspicions. I haven't had any luck finding them since then, though, and I don't have time to chase them around the countryside. I have the farm to take care of.
All right. I'll have a look for them.
Well, when you get to Rabosh, take the main road away from the fortress until you reach the first farm on the right. There are hired hands there. That much I found out. If you find the stone, please bring it back to me. I'll make sure you're well rewarded. You have my word. I was the one who found it, so by rights, it's mine. It was destined for me. To mess with fate would only bring bad luck and misfortune.
Tell me, how did you come by the stone in the first place?
That's a secret.
If you came by it honestly, why be so secretive about it?
I'm not hiding anything. I'm just not one to brag, that's all. And until it's back in my hands, I don't want to talk about it.
I can appreciate that, but sharing a story isn't exactly bragging.
All right, then. I found it a couple of years back in a field outside Billany. On the way to Wizard the Quarry. You probably know the place. I was going to take a shortcut through the woods, but there'd been a hell of a storm about a week before. It tore off roofs, carried away some shepherds' huts, even toppled the tower on those fortifications at Kuttenberg. And it very nearly flushed us out of here too. A proper act of God it was. Well, the forest was a complete mess, so I couldn't go that way. So I decided I'd go through the field. And all of a sudden, I stumble over something. And what do I see? A Thunderstone right under my foot. Stroke of luck it was.
Look, I won fair and square. But I still don't have that Thunderstone of yours in my hand. Truth be told, I'm feeling a little cheated. You could at least throw a dog a bone, eh?
Bollocks to that. You got your wager back, so don't be getting greedy now. And you barely won anyway. If you want anything more from me, bring me back my Thunderstone.
If you don't cough up, everyone far and wide will hear what a lying bastard you are and how you tried to fuck me over.
If you think you can talk shit to Thomlin Brutans, think again.
Welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
I need to find a Thunderstone, and I heard you might know of one.
Oh, yeah? Who told you that, then?
Thomlin over Horsham Way told me you pinched his Thunderstone. You and some Hensel fellow. So you better come clean before I let Thomlin beat the truth out of you.
Fuck me! So Bruthan's made you his lackey? As if that stone hasn't caused enough trouble already.
Watch your tongue. I'm no one's lackey. And you, go on. What happened with the stone?
We fucked up. And all because of that stupid stone. I wish we'd never taken it.
So Thomlin was right. It was you. Where's the stone now?
I haven't the faintest. It was all Hensel's idea and he had it on him the whole time. And before you ask, no, Hensel's not here. Andrew is holding him captive.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm missing something here, and it's not just the stone. So tell me, what the fuck happened?
We wanted to Butcher Andrew Ramhead's band of pillagers. But that's easier said than done. So Hensel got the idea that we could borrow Thomlin Bruthen's magic stone from him to help us fight them like. But Thomlin wasn't having it, so we filched it without him knowing. And then set off after those bandits. But everything went to shit. They caught Hensel and almost killed me and Stislav. So, you come a bit late for that fucking stone. Not that it brought us any luck anyway. If I were you, I'd give it up as a lost cause.
How did your assault go?
Hensel led the way. There was him, me, and Stislav. We wore padded doublets and took hunting knives and axes. Stislav had a bow too. We got within earshot when it all went to shit. Stislav stumbled and yelped. Then they noticed us. After that, everything happened so fast. We charged at them, Hensel up front with us behind. Arrows started raining down. They all missed Hensel, but I was shot in the arm. It hurt like hell. I was screaming and scared shitless. So I took to my heels. I met back here with Stislav. They chased him, but he being so lightly dressed and them in armour, they couldn't keep up.
How many of them were there?
I'd say 5, 6.
You went up against 6 of them?
Of course not. We waited for some of them to go on patrol. That left just 3, though heavily armoured they were. If we'd caught them by surprise, it might have worked.
Why did you want to kill them?
Why? To stop them doing mischief round here. We wanted to help the village. We could hide in fear and moan, or do something about it. And we also wanted to make a bit of a name for ourselves among the locals.
It was brave of you. You wanted to do the right thing. I would have done the same.
Not that it did any good, but thanks. All the folk here now take me for a fool. You're the only one to see it differently.
Where's Stislav, anyway?
I don't know. He was a bundle of nerves after what happened. Packed up and left. I've no idea where he went, and I don't blame him. I'm not exactly doing great myself. It really pissed Andrew off, and now he's even nastier to the villagers than before.
Who is this Andrew Ramhead?
A mercenary commander from King Sigismund's army. He's been ordered to guard the roads with his men. Or so he says. But apart from that, they also carry out raids, rob the people, mug merchants and steal cattle. And they make the peasants pay tribute. And of course, after our fuck-up, they've turned the screws and are demanding even more. Another reason for everyone round here to hate me.
What about the Lord in these parts? I mean, there's a fortress here, so he must have plenty of men-at-arms.
Well, the Lord has decreed that no action is to be taken. He says it's better to put up with these fuckers than to flush them out. Because that might raise King Sigismund's hackles and he'd only dispatch more troops. That's what I heard anyway.
Where can I find this, Andrew?
Are you fucking with me?
No. I'm sorry about what happened to you, but I badly need to find that stone. You don't just lose something like that. And from what you said, it seems I don't have much choice.
I'm telling you, that stone's cursed. Weren't you listening to me?
Can you hear yourself? You attacked a band of hardened mercenaries. Anyone else would have paid for that with their life, but not one of you was killed. Not to mention that this Hensel, the one with the stone, wasn't hit by a single arrow. But you were.
Sakura, I never thought of it that way. You know, you might be right.
You see? Now tell me where this camp of theirs is.
You'll come across some ponds between Raborsk and Bohunjovic. Near one of them, there's a fork where wayfarers sometimes camp if they're stuck for a place to stay. From that fork, follow the water downstream, and you should find the ruins of an old mill.
And that's where they're holding Hensel? The one with the stone?
Yeah, there. But if I were you, I'd stay off the path. Take the hill and nip through the woods. You'll get to some rocks overlooking the mill. You'll have a bird's eye view of everything from there. That's the way we went too. But make sure they don't spot you. There's a good chance they've upped their guard after our attack.
Sound advice. Thanks.
Look, what's your plan anyway?
Well, I'm thinking if I can find Andrew, I'll find Hensel, and then I'll finally get to the bottom of this shit with the Thunderstone.
Just be careful, because Andrew's a cunning fucker. Look, since you're going there anyway, I know I'm not in a position to ask you for anything, but still, do you think you could rescue Hensel?
And how, pray, do you expect me to do that?
I don't know, just something. Because if you don't, I don't know who will. Andrew's a greedy bastard. Some coin might do it. Or you could sneak in quietly and slip back out with Hensel.
How about I just kill them all?
Oh, I thought best not to suggest that. You know how we ended up. But, you know, whatever you think's best. It's just, they're pretty tough and well armed, you know.
I'll manage somehow. But the whole thing's getting so messy, it's almost like the stone's power is interfering somehow. But if I find a way, I'll help Hensel.
Thank you so much. May all the saints be with you, and I hope you have better luck than we did.
Everyone get over here! We've got an intruder! You're in for an arse kicking, you piece of shit! Clear off! Fuck you, horseman!
Hey! By all the saints, don't leave me here! Please, untie me!
Be quiet.
I beg you! Don't leave me here!
I need something to eat.
Christ almighty! You stormed in on them like you were the Archangel Michael himself. Thanks for getting me out of here.
Whatever you want, but first, I need to get out of here, all right?
You alright?
Yeah, I am. All things considered. Thanks for rescuing me. You have no idea how grateful I am. God knows what they would have done to me in the end. All that aside, who are you, anyway?
Henry.
I'm Hensel, and I owe you big time, Henry. Though, in all honesty, I'm not sure why I was worth all that trouble. But grateful nonetheless.
Peter told me what happened.
Peter? Well, thank the saints for him. So he's safe and sound, is he?
In a manner of speaking. He got shot, but nothing serious.
What about Stislav?
From what I hear, Stislav made it out unscathed too. But what happened scared him so much he scarpered.
Sakra. At least he's alive. I was worried about them both. It's all my fault, you know. Oh, I dread to think what could have happened to him.
Listen, it wasn't exactly by chance that I ran into Peter either. I was looking for you in the village because of the Thunderstone you stole from Thomlin in Horsham, who by the way is royally fucking upset with you.
Well, I suppose I would be too if I were him. But I have to say, the whole Thunderstone idea was the stupidest I've ever had. It brought us no luck, no protection. Well, the opposite, in fact.
Let's forget that for a moment. What I really need to know is where the stone ended up.
You won't be surprised to hear. Ramed snatched it from me when I was captured. He didn't believe it had any powers, but he has a nose for money. That's all that matters to him. From what I heard, he sold it in Sukdal to some farmer's wife, I think he said, Mlada or something. Well, from the edge of the village.
Sakra. That stone really is cursed. Well, there's nothing for it. I'm off to Sukdal.
Hold your horses. That wasn't the only thing I heard. There's this pond below Raborsh, right? And on the bank, across from the village, there's a small crag. Somewhere around there, they hid some of their spoils.
Clever. Take what you can, and stash the rest for later.
I'd have helped myself to it, but think of it as my way of thanking you. I just hope they weren't making it up, and you find something there.
I'll take a look around and see. Thanks for telling me.
Well, it's the least I can do. And good luck with that bloody stone, though my advice would be to steer well clear of it.
I'm still curious about your Thunderstone story.
Well, as you wish. It's not as if I'll ever forget it, anyway.
Tell me the whole story from the beginning.
Well, it just pissed us off how Andrew was always extorting and bullying everyone. And not just us. The local lord who did nothing about it. And everybody in the village kept grumbling, but nobody took any action. I knew about Thomlin's stone, and I thought that with its help, we'd have the edge on them. That we'd help the people in the village. And make a bit of a name for ourselves around here. So when he refused to... We'd sorted Andrew out. I'm serious. I swear.
And what about your expedition?
Well, first, we scouted the place on the sly, and then waited for some of his men to go out on patrol. We armed ourselves as best we could, and made our move. From the top of that rock there. We were almost there, but then Stislav stumbled or something. Made a ruckus, and they spotted us. After that, everything happened so fast. I hollered and lunged at them. Peter was yelling something, so I thought he was behind me. All these shots were whizzing past as I charged at them, but nothing hit me. Then I got stuck in. They outnumbered us. In the end, I took a blow to the head. That was pretty much it for me.
What happened after you were captured?
I was scared, shitless. I thought they were going to kill me. One of them suggested just leaving me tied up in the woods or drowning me. But thankfully, Andrew disagreed. So they held me prisoner. I don't even know why.
And this Andrew and his soldiers, what were they doing here?
Andrew Ramed, they called him. He had this handsome hammer, shaped like a ram it was. And that's what they say he named himself after. Their orders were to keep watch out here. They had their own ideas of what that meant. They fleeced wayfarers, merchants, locals, wherever they could. No one was safe. They often grumbled that the army wasn't paying them properly. But if you ask me, they more than made up for it on the side. They even took someone's cow.
What are you going to do now?
Oh, I don't know. same as before, I suppose. There's nothing to keep us here, but I can see Peter and me staying another summer. Perhaps longer. I mean, it's nice here, and the village is protected by a strong fortress. It's a good place, if you ask me. You never know. I might find myself a piece of land, or marry into some.
I hear your husband's sick.
Aye, unfortunately. Peter returned from a trading trip and went straight to bed. He's been ill ever since, and nothing's helping. He doesn't eat, and he's barely spoken a word to anyone. But a wayfarer showed up here recently who had a Thunderstone. Said he found it after a big storm, so I bought it from him. I spent almost everything we had on it. The Thunderstone had the power to heal Peter, but I lost it. Someone must have stolen it. And now, I don't know what to do. I don't have any money. And I have no idea how to help Peter. I don't even dare think how much time he has left.
Don't worry. I know a bit about medicine. I'll try to treat your husband.
You do that for me. May God reward you for your kindness.
I'll examine him and see what I can do.
Good. Good. Thank you very much. Take care. Greetings. What do you want?
I heard you bought a Thunderstone from Andrew Ramhead. Is that so?
Well, it is. What's it to you?
Andrew Ramhead took it from Hensel from Raborsh, who in turn stole it from Thomlin Brookhans down Horshan way.
And? I don't know those people. Even if it's true, I knew nothing about it. I bought the stone fair and square, and for good money. My husband's gravely ill and nothing's helping. The stone is to heal him.
And what ails your husband?
Peter went to lie down one afternoon and he hasn't budged since. He's not eating, and he's barely talking to anyone. What's worse, soon after he took ill, a Minerva owl perched on the roof one evening.
A Minerva owl? I assume that doesn't bode well, does it?
No, not at all. An owl on your roof means death is closing in. That's why I need the stone. If it weren't for the stone, I'm sure Peter would be gone by now.
I'm afraid the stone is unlikely to do him any good. It only brings bad luck.
What? What are you talking about?
You see, because it was stolen, there was a switch in its power. It no longer protects from misfortune. Quite the opposite, in fact. It's cursed. Toying with these things is playing with fire.
I don't believe it. You made that curse up. I'm quite sure the stone will help Peter.
Listen, we need to get that stone out of here. If you want, I'll take a look at your husband and see what I can do about his malady. And then I'm going to take that stone away from here. The longer it stays here, the more trouble it'll cause. I'll return it to its rightful owner, and that will lift the curse. Do you agree?
All right, fine. But just do something for Peter. And please hurry. With that owl and everything, I'm quite sure the Reaper's nearby. You'll find Peter in his room.
All right. I'll take a look at him and see if there's anything I can do. It's usually a good idea to speak to others who are close to the sufferer. That may be able to explain a few things, especially if the patient himself isn't very communicative.
Aha. I see you really have done this before. I'm starting to believe that stone really did draw you here. So, ask around on the farm if you need to. We'll all be at your service.
Perfect. I'll get on with it. And I'd better check the whole room, just in case.
Do whatever it takes to help Peter.
I found that Thunderstone.
Really? But it seems to have found its way back to me after all. Which just goes to show I was meant to have it.
Maybe. But Kona really needs it. I think I'll give it to her.
You what? You can't do that. I found the stone. It was meant for me. If you give it to anybody else, it won't do them any good.
I suppose you're right. It'd be better for it to come back to you.
Hey, thank you so much. I won't forget this. And I promise to reward you. I can give you some of the coin I put aside from my fights. Or I can show you some wrestling feints and holds if you want. You know, it was a close fight last time.
I'll take the money. Thanks, Thomlin.
The thanks are all mine. Like I said, it's best not to trifle with a Thunderstone. It's a good thing it's back with me.
I found the Thunderstone.
Really? Oh, God bless you, Henry. Without the stone, I don't know what I would do. Or what else could help me.
Well, you don't have to worry about that now. Take the stone. I hope it helps you.
Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. This stone will make giving birth easier and save my baby's life.
Glad to have been of service.
I'll get Hannah to give you a lower price at the stud farm, as I promised. And you know what? I'll share a piece of wisdom my grandmother taught me. She said you need to brew nightshade with twice as much mugwort and a good splash of brandy. That's how to fix a concoction that'll clean you out at both ends and cure all sorts of ills. She used it on me after I gave birth and said it saved my life. So it could come in handy for you too sometime.
Thanks. That sounds, let's not say dangerous exactly, but definitely fascinating. I'll just make a quick note so I don't forget. I'm not sure I'll ever muster the courage to try it, though.
Think nothing of it. And if you want, stop by and talk to my husband, Demir. He's a very skilled man. And since you've been so helpful, if you like, perhaps he'll let you in on some of his blacksmithing secrets. Oh, and I also have some money put aside for emergencies, so you can have that. It's not much, but it's all I can give you.
Hold on to your money. I'm sure it'll come in handy for you at some point. I was glad I could help. So let's leave it at that.
Oh, Mother Mary. What a noble man you are. Thank you.